Today is Thursday, March 11th. Today, everyone just went crazy about the coronavirus. There was a case at one of the high schools in our district. One of the dads was exposed, and then his daughter was exposed to him, and then she went to school and didn't know. And that was yesterday. And yesterday, like, everyone felt fine. It was kind of like, oh, like, are we gonna cancel school? I don't know. Some people are doing it, but, like, doubt it's gonna happen to us. And today, it was just like the end of the world. Like, every class, all the teachers were talking about it. Every conversation, just, like, walking in the hallway, everyone was all like, coronavirus, coronavirus. They're shutting down school, da-da-da-da-da. And tonight was supposed to be, Mr. like beauty pageant for our school, basically. And we were excited to go because we heard that there was a guy whose talent was cooking to the Ratatouille song, and so our whole friend group was gonna go. And then they announced today that they were canceling it, and that was in sixth period, and they had a rally at break, so they did their whole rally, and they said, like, everybody come to our event, and then it was canceled. And it's just so crazy because everything just feels like so heavy at school. And it's like everybody's talking about it, but also like nobody's really talking about it. And all the things that are closing down is what makes it feel real. Like, a lot of the teachers think that by next Monday we'll be closed down. And like, our school's band had to cancel all of their events. They canceled all their fundraisers, all their competitions. One of my close friends is a senior in band, and she isn't going to get to perform. Theater, on the other hand, he said, the theater teacher said that we're going to perform. The show must go on. So they're doing Cyrano de Bergerac right now, and he said, we are not going to cancel our shows. We are not going to cancel rehearsal. Like, we're planning, like, the show's gonna go on. So that's the one thing. But we're having a really hard time in theater club already. Like, yesterday I spent 3 hours in the office trying to get our show date, and then this whole thing happened, and he had me go back into the office today and, like, hassle them about our dates. But I was like, really? Like, on today of all days, when they literally made an announcement before lunch, like, please take the remote schooling survey because we might have to go remote, and we need to know, like, who has Wi-Fi and who will be able to do it and stuff like that. But it's just, it's crazy. All the teachers keep assigning tests, and no one really knows what's gonna happen. And it's like the shutting down of the NBA was like a big thing that happened last night, was on the news this morning. Tom Hanks getting the coronavirus, and like saying that he has it. It's like, it makes it real for so many people who watch his movies and who are his fans. Whereas, like, before, it was just kind of like this big number, like, oh, so and so from 2 cities away may have it, da 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 da. But like, nobody really, or like nobody in our town at least, was emotionally connected to it. And I don't know, for me, seeing the Broadway close down and Disneyland, the one of the articles that one of the girls was reading in class was like, Broadway goes dark and Disneyland closes on Saturday. And that's just horrible. And of course, it's like, what else did we think was going to happen? But it's like, okay, like, in Broadway terms, like, all the Broadway shows are going to close. You have hundreds and hundreds of on Broadway and off Broadway performers who are just sitting around, like, what are these people going to do? And then it's like, what about the people who get paid hourly wages? That's one of the big things. Like, when they, or if they get fired or are sent home, or how are they going to pay for their bills? And everybody's just going crazy. And we don't really know what's going to happen. Nobody really seems to know what's going on. And they said we're going to have school tomorrow, but they also sent out an email today at lunch that said all public gathering and public events are closed from now on. Like, sports events will still happen, but no one's allowed to go to them. The guy's beauty pageant is closed. Like, some people's SATs have closed down. Someone said their AP exam closed down. I don't know if that's true. Oh, and like the Christian Outreach Club, they have a huge event called La Vida where they like give free food to the entire school. It's crazy, and they canceled that today, and just everything's ending. Even today, I got to school like 5 minutes early, and the parking lot was like half empty because people are just afraid to come to school. So on top of that, it's raining today, so it's really depressing outside, and it feels like the end of the world.
Today is Friday the 13th, and school was canceled. So now we have to do online school, and that's super fun.
The crazy part too about that day was that half my teachers said that it wasn't going to happen. Like, my French teacher was the only one who set up the video conference and said like, okay, in case anything happens, we're going to have practiced, we're going to know what to do. So when they made that announcement during sixth period, everybody just left their classes and we're going around to all the teachers of being like, what are we going to do? Da, 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 da. And of course, all the teachers I needed to ask were absent. This one teacher I had for 2 periods who didn't say anything, he wasn't there. And I was like, okay. So we were all going into spring break, or not spring break, into the quarantine period without knowing what we were going to do. On Saturday, we went to the grocery store. The meat is empty. Good thing I gave up meat for Lent. Woo! Due to the high demand and support to customers, there will be a limit to the number 5-gallon water to each per customer.
Mom would be buying like
I relate. And then I had my voice lesson. I started the very arduous task of cleaning my room, starting by unpacking my CD bag, which had completely fallen apart. I've listened to 3 episodes of Just a Tip podcast and watched several Good Place episodes, and I organized my closet. This all still needs to be dealt with. Dude, the Just a Tip episode I'm listening to, the guest was a writer on The Good Place. Damn, that's a sim moment. I started the day off by doing the laundry, which I had been putting off for weeks, had breakfast, and did some stretches. And then back to cleaning my room.
Did some stretches, got my heart rate up. It's Sunday, and we can't go to church because church is closed. So yeah.
I have this ribbon that I got probably in 4th grade, and I don't know what to do with it because I really wanted it a lot, but now I don't use it. So should I get rid of it? You!
You want to get rid of that?
I don't know, should I?
Yeah.
I basically almost cried when I didn't get to take this stick home. But now I don't know what to do with it. Okay, here's the stick story explained. So when I was probably like 10, we were in the Bay Area visiting some friends. And we were at one of my parents' friends' house, and their son, who's probably like 8 years older than me, he played the violin, and so he had this stick that you saw in the video that he used when he was a kid to like learn how to hold the bow correctly. And so I was just like wandering around the house like little me, and I found the stick and I like got super attached to it. And then at the end of the night it was time to go home, and so they're like, say goodbye, like put the stick down. And I was like, no, like this stick is the only thing that's ever meant anything to me. And the mom was like, bruh, you're like 13. You do not need this practice stick anymore. Like, just give it to her. And he was like, no, like, that is my stick. And he threw a fit. And I was also throwing a fit. And then I won, and I got to take the stick home. And that's why it matters so much.
9/11/07. She's so small.
I made this new little corner, and I think it's super cute. I didn't think all my CDs would fit in there, but they do.
I got to practice for voice, which has been one nice part about being on quarantine. Usually I just practice the first 30 minutes before my lesson and pretend like I know what I'm doing, but this week I actually got to practice.
And you are probably wondering, why are you showing a video where you're practicing but there's no audio? Well, first off, I sounded like trash, and second, I have to keep track of when I practice, otherwise I'll completely forget and feel terrible for not practicing. So here's just me patting myself on the back. Monday, I hit the books with my APUSH homework. Technically, school isn't supposed to start until Wednesday, but I had 20 essay questions to answer about the 20s and the 30s, so I was busy.
Just try, I wouldn't be such a bitch if you could get it up.
When your friends invite you to hang out and you've been staying home literally all day and not talking to anyone? When you think you need some alone time to just relax? Tofu is the food of the future, and that's all I'm saying. So my physics teacher does this thing called the circle, where the whole class circles up at the beginning or the end of the period on Mondays or Fridays, and he passes around a tennis ball, and you're allowed to talk about whatever you want. So like how you're feeling, what you're going to do this weekend, and it's just like his way of bringing the class together. And so on Monday, he sent us a video of the circle, and I didn't want to include the video because I think that's like kind of private, but I put the sound clip in. So I just thought that was super cute, and it made my day.
Morning, guys. Thought we'd have a little circle today. If you guys want to share anything, you don't have to, as always. You can see the classroom here. A little strange. But we can pass the talking piece around if you want to. You can share what's on your mind. I guarantee you guys I'll watch it, as long as it's less than 2 minutes. Or you could type it in if you want to. Remember that it's visible by the entire class. Just something that happened for me this weekend. I think my kids were almost loving it. Yesterday they got to go to church in their living room. My daughter, I didn't think she was going to put on clothes the whole day. My son never put on a shirt or a pair of shoes, but so I think my kids are almost enjoying it. They're not going through cabin fever yet. And for me, I'm still riding my bike, It's a good thing to do without interacting with other people.
So I thought that was really cute. And then there's this one really loud kid in our class who is always talking, and he has a timer for the circle. He's only allowed to talk 2 minutes, because if he was allowed to keep going, he would talk the whole period. So he was the only person who sent something in, and he sent in this big chunk of text. I just spit. It was so much. So I did a dramatic reading. It wasn't supposed to be dramatic, but I was just reading it, and then it turned into an acting moment.
Friday night was pretty cool. I went to the mall and looked at shoes because I had nothing better to do. Then I just came home and chilled while playing some video games. Saturday was alright. I had friends over. We went to the mall shortly before my work shift, and all three of us were inevitably 86'd out of the mall alongside a security escort due to the fact that we were skateboarding in the mall. I guess they're not skater friendly. However, since I'm an employee, I had a shift coming up. I snuck past the security and into my work. I found my boss had been ripping some kid off because the little kid had upwards of 30 hours of game time on his account, and my boss had been telling the kid for the past month that he needed to buy more game time because he was all out. My boss is mean. Later that night, a nice lady called the store to cancel a birthday party she had booked the next day because all of the other kids' parents had canceled due to coronavirus concerns. My boss told me that I wasn't allowed to cancel the child's party and that I was to reschedule it. However, I told my boss that I was canceling the party whether he liked it or not, and that's it. Hopefully I get fired. I stayed up till 1 a.m. last night because there's no need for me to go to bed at a decent time because there's no school. Also, side note, there's no toilet paper in my house, but that's fine because there's also no food, so I'll probably starve soon. I checked today that DOW Jones is still down 3,000%, so we'll probably have another Great Depression based off of a virus that has killed less than 30 people in the country. The death toll will rise to public panic as old people won't be able to get help that they need, but most people won't seem to realize this. But on the bright side, no school.
Bro, dude, I'm so sore from stretching yesterday. Like, literally, this hurts. I feel like an elderly woman in jazzercise.
aqua aerobics.
Gonna save from those bad guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
Be safe, Papa. Do you have hand sanitizer?
Hand washing works better.
Yeah, hand washing.
As Alton Brown says, soap, the yardstick of civilization.
Do both.
You're allowed to do that?
What?
Use the restroom every 20 minutes? That's nice.
My brother started working on this puzzle, and I did some more homework.
Oh, this isn't even the right headphones. Yeah, these are knotted, but you know, it's fine. We're gonna do this. This is vibes. I did not do that much homework today. I think I just did so much yesterday that I overloaded. And mostly all that I have right now is A-Push. A-Push is just like hitting the wall with homework. Because official school isn't even supposed to start until Wednesday, so we're not even technically supposed to have lesson plans. And she posted like lesson plans for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and there was weekend homework too. So it's just crazy. Right now, my mom went to the store because she said that New York and San Francisco are on lockdown, which means nobody's allowed to leave their house at all, and she thinks that we're next. I don't know if that's new news, because originally I heard that they were on, what's the term? It's like something like safeguard or something like that. Insert here. Oh, ew. So that meant like you're not supposed to leave the house, but you can still go get groceries. But I don't know if in a lockdown you're allowed to. So she's going to the grocery store right now, and she's like, we are going to stock up on groceries so hard, like, get ready, because when they tell LA that we're going on lockdown, everyone's going to hit the stores. So yeah, I don't really know what's happening. And tomorrow official school starts. Still haven't heard from my first period teacher. So who knows? And I started editing this video. And you know what the funny thing is now I'm like, oh, I have time to edit all the videos I haven't been editing and do the voiceover, which is my least favorite part. Like, it's fine to do, but it's a whole thing. You have to write down what you're saying. You have to know what you're saying. You have to say it well. But instead of doing that, I'm just making this video unnecessarily complex. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. I braided my hair and I said, ma'am, it is time to get up off that wall and do some exercising. I'm still really sore and everything hurts, but it's fine. Do I particularly want to go out for a walk right now? No, but I didn't go outside at all yesterday. So I think I'm gonna talk to one of my friends on the phone. I also haven't talked to anyone except for my family since Saturday. Do you want to say something about this?
Took 3 days.
Miss Myers really gave us a very difficult attendance question. Ice cream or cake? I don't know. Someone ate a Pop-Tart and left their wrapper in the snack closet. Who does this kind of stuff?
Good afternoon. This is an important message from the school district regarding updated information communicated today. These are challenging times. We know that many of you are facing difficult situations, and we are here for you. In order to ensure the safety of all our students, families, and staff, the school district is following and implementing the newly issued guidelines from Governor Newsom and the California Department of Public Health. Based on the CDC guidelines and Governor Newsom's press conference on March 17th, we are dismissing school for 8 weeks, starting from our initial closure date of Monday, March 16th, 2020. We are tentatively scheduled to reopen school on Monday, May 11th, 2020. However, this date